Okay, so this is my story that is beyond comprehension, and it's about the IRS and the main IRS office in the Fort Lauderdale area. It's actually located in Plantation, Florida. And I had been going there for well over a year, making regular monthly installment payments per an agreement to pay off some overdue taxes. And I went there one month. I had an issue where I could not make a payment by check. So I went there with my money in cash. And I arrived there and I told them, after I got through security, you know, there's a lady at the desk, a reception desk, and she asks you what you're there for to give you a number. And I don't know if you've been there before, but it's kind of like they give you a number and you sit down and it's kind of like a bingo game, you know, now serving B21. Okay, so you finally get your number called and you go up and you visit the clerk behind the bulletproof glass. Okay, and I said to him, I'm here to make a payment. And he says, will you be paying by check or by money order? And I said, no, I have cash. And he looks at me and he says, now listen to me, this is a 4-story office building of the IRS, okay? I don't know how many people employed there, but he looks straight at me and he says, oh, I'm sorry, the person who accepts cash is gone for the day. I said, come on, you're kidding me, right? You have to be kidding. He says, no, I'm sorry, but I'm serious. There's no one here who can take your cash. And I looked at him and I say, come on, this is like I'm being punked, right? Where are the cameras? You know, the IRS, how many millions of dollars of tax payments do you receive every day? And nobody is here to take cash. He said, sir, I'm sorry. Maybe I can get my supervisor to explain it to you. So the supervisor comes over and I'm asking, surely there's more than one person in the whole building that can take a cash payment. And she says, well, you know, there's only one and he's gone for the day and you'll simply have to come back. And I said, well, ma'am, I'm not going to accept responsibility because my payment is due today, you see. And if I have to leave, then don't accuse me of having a late payment because now you're refusing to accept my, you know, American dollars, you know. It even says on the dollar bill, good for all, you know, debts, okay? So, all right, so they convinced me to come back the next day. Now, I leave, I come back the next day, I go to the receptionist and I say, I'm here to make a payment, but it's a cash payment. Okay, and she said, okay, so they give me a separate number to see the person at the right window, and I make sure before I sit down, okay, the person who accepts cash is here today, isn't he? And she assures me, yes, he's here today, so you're in luck. Okay, good. So I sit down and I wait. They call my number. I got bingo. I go to the window. I say, okay, I'm here to make my payment. I reach into my pocket. The payment is $250. I reach into my pocket. I take out $100, $200, $300 in American dollars, and I slide it underneath the window. And he looks at me and he says, what's this? I said, what do you mean, what is it? It's American dollars, U.S. currency, in payment for all debts, okay, public or private. I want to pay my taxes, $250, okay? He looks at me and he says, I'm sorry, we don't make change, okay? I can't make this stuff up, okay? How many millions of dollars is transacted every day? Number one, there was nobody there to accept cash, okay? And number two, they don't make change. This is absolutely unimaginable, okay? So again, I'm looking for the cameras, I'm asking for the supervisor. Come on, what kind of joke is this, okay? I can use this money everywhere else to pay a debt, but in the IRS? That's absurd, okay? So guess what I had to do? I had to leave and break 100 and come back with exact change in order to pay this. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. Everybody in the room, you know, all of the taxpayers, they found this all hilarious, and I'm sure you guys are enjoying this story. But the truth is, the people behind the bulletproof glass, they didn't find this humorous at all. So I ask you, you know, try to make sense out of that one. How it is that you can't even pay your debt when you pay your taxes with cash. Okay. Thanks.